Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So yeah, I'm getting way wide down, start another work week. I'm pretty honestly, not even gonna lie, I'm pretty stressed out. Various reasons, or I guess anxious or whatever like that. But it's okay, man. I'll make it through. I made it this far in life, right? So this one is titled "Are You Afraid to Die?" And the reason I think that is because, or I wanted to talk about this is not me giving dawa or anything like that. This is really, if you knew you were going to like to die the next, within a moment, what would you, is there anything, how would you reflect on your life and what you've done with it? And I think for a lot of people, they really can't answer that. I think the amount of time we do to escape from this life, escape from our pain, escape from boredom, escape from this, escape from that, to I guess find pleasure and happiness, all this empty pursuit of happiness, is I think people can't run away from that. And we get so lost in trying to do that and not really think about how temporary this life is. And how and some people, they just completely reach a point where they're just like, hey, this is completely and utterly meaningless. I'm like, my entire life is going to be the pursuit of just pleasure, right? That's the point of life, is to get as much pleasure as you possibly can. Even when people know that this world is wicked, poverty, war, all these things, like they could possibly make it better for the next generation, but they're not really focused on that. They're focused on getting their slice of the pie, while they can, and making the most out of it. And I think about this, and and this is not going to sound, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I think I've reached a point in my life where what I hold true and dear to me is worth dying for. And also, I'm not afraid of dying as much as I am of living a life of mediocrity. I think if I do reach, the ripe old age of freaking 90 or 100, inshallah, like if I did nothing with my life, and I just worked a 9 to 5 and accomplished absolute nothing that I thought was meaningful in this life, but the pursuit of more money, the pursuit of wealth, the pursuit of pleasure and things like that, all those which are temporary, very temporary, that I would just consider it more of a waste than, having my life mean something or having my death mean something. The only thing I think I truly fear in this life is suffering. Like let's say, like one of my biggest fears is, let's say I get into an accident or something horrible happens to me, and for the rest of my life, I live in extreme pain for the rest of my life. I already go through it with like my mental health. Sometimes like there's an internal struggle, I think, constantly inside of myself. And some days I feel closer to victory, and some days I feel defeated. But at the same time, I'm not as bad as some people. I'm at least semi-functional, right, for the most part. But some people, like, there's people that suffered horrible accidents. There's people in a coma. There's people burn victims, and there's people amputees and all this other stuff. And I wonder, there's some of those people are so resilient, but I think I would completely crack. No matter how strong my faith is in, my creator, I think I would crack completely and just lose it. Just completely give up and just say, hey, just take me out of here. Like, I can't deal with this. Or being horribly disfigured. I mean, wallahi, man, my heart goes out to anybody that goes through that. I remember, when I was a kid, when I was first getting my driver's license, there was a video of this woman, this beautiful, beautiful woman that was permanently disfigured because of a drunk driving accident. And, I could never live through that. And especially when you're young and your looks and your attractiveness is so important. People act like those things are important, but I think it's very disingenuous. Like the fact that you look at our society, especially here, and actually most societies, right? How attractive you are is considered one of the most important things in your life. It could not only be your personality, but physically, right? Physically, your attractiveness is considered very important. And people that act like that's not important are honestly some of the biggest, most pretentious people I think out there. It's not shallow to think that looks are important or anything like that. It's we're human beings, and that's what we are naturally physically attracted to certain things. That's never going to go away. That's always a thing. It's biological in of itself, right? You can't deny that. But to have that completely robbed of you is just terrible, especially if it's something you worked on, right? Like, like let's say you're a man, you're a bodybuilder, and you work out, you get yourself at the peak physical shape and stuff like that, which a lot of people find attractive, especially a lot of women find that attractive, right? They won't say it, but more than often they'd rather be with a guy that looks physically fit than a guy that's an utter slob that has the same personality, right? So imagine you get permanently crippled or disabled and that's just gone, and that was a very important part of you. I can't imagine what that feels like. But I think it's like when people, I think regardless of what belief system you are, let's say you just don't have any belief at all. Are you worried about dying because of the people you leave behind? Because as somebody that's single and I have a family, I'm a sibling and I'm a son, but I don't have any children. That's the thing that would suck for me is if my children were going to be okay. Like if somebody put a gun to my head, was like, hey, I'm going to kill you, I would worry about that, but I'm not leaving anyone behind. There's nobody that is dependent on me per se that I'm leaving behind. So I don't have that fear, right? I can imagine as a parent or, somebody that is in a position of authority where you have somebody under your tutelage, that would be something that, would be going through my mind. Besides that, I'm a minimalist, right? So, I don't have things. I don't have a bunch of boy toys. I don't have a bunch of materialistic things that make me feel like I'm missing out on something. If I was to die, I wouldn't be able to race my Ferrari, or if I died, I wouldn't be able to go on my jet ski or, fly my plane. If I was to die, I wouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z, people are like, oh, well, they're attached to lifestyles. They're like, hey, I want to, be around beautiful women, sleep with this person, that person. I want to be able to, drink, smoke, whatever like that. And that's what gets me through life. That's why I consider it very important. I look forward to the next thrill, right? Some people are like that. And it can not only be stuff like that, but it can be like, oh, I'm a mountain climber or a rock climber. I look forward to the next time I can go up Mount Everest or freaking something like that, right? That's a milestone that I want in my life. That's what makes me happy. It makes me feel complete. Me dying before I can achieve that again would, be terrible, right? So I think about those things, but at this point in my life, I think the only thing I'm afraid of is suffering, prolonged suffering, irreversible suffering, right? And the judgment of my creator, especially if the judgment was going to be malicious. I would always worry about, being judged for who I truly am. And like we're subconsciously, I like to think that I'm a good person or that I am a good person that's inherently flawed, right? But I would hate to be judged as being an evil person. Like I don't think that I'm evil or anything. I may think sometimes that I'm a bad person, but I don't think I'm evil, right? And that would be like one of my fears. Those are my only two fears. But honestly, like the way that that society and the world is right now, I really don't fear death in of itself, if you know what I'm saying, because I think there's a natural or like biological fear of death. And I think that's healthy, very healthy to be afraid of dying. It's what, what keeps us safe, right? Your fear of death, your fear of harm, your fear of getting hurt. At the same time, I think that we're kind of worried and scared about death from a materialistic standpoint. We're afraid of leaving this world and all the attachments that we have to it as far as things that we enjoy in this life. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm over video games. I'm over music. I'm over like all that stuff. Granted, those things are enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. Those are very enjoyable. But at the same time, it's like, it's never enough. You know, there's very few times in my life that I've ever felt satisfied by anything. You know, you can always make more money. You can always have more success. You can always have a more beautiful, hotter girlfriend, or a girlfriend with a better personality, or you can always have, you know what I'm saying, a better car. You could always have, you know what I'm saying, a better physique. You know, we human beings, we're so flawed. Hey, what's up, Nicer? Hey, what up? Human beings were so flawed that it's never enough for us. That's the human condition. Like, we never reach a peak. You know, the rich always want to get richer. You know, the poor, of course, they want to get richer. You know, people that are not attractive, they want to beautify themselves. That's why the plastic surgery industry is basically fueled by our insecurities. We can never have enough sex. You know, nobody's satisfied with, very few people like that are sexually active are satisfied with their sex life, or people that aren't receiving sex at all. Of course, they hate their sex life because they're not getting any, you know? And it's really sad. It's like, that's the thing that I think utopia will never exist. Utopia is an ideal, and it's like the whole heaven on earth thing. I don't think that's ever going to exist. I think the only way that would exist is if we human beings were completely taken away from free will, point blank, period. If we were made the closest thing to robots and machines, then yes, that would be able to happen. But people would, like, of course, they wouldn't want that, right? Because them get their freedom getting taken away, them not having the same attachments to worldly things and materialistic things to be happy, they would consider that, you know, unbearable. I mean, let's be honest. So I'll really think about it, and yeah, like I think at this point, yeah, dude, I'm not really that scared of dying. And I'm not saying this like that I'm like suicidal or that I'm planning to do something crazy. No whatsoever. This is just a reflection that, you know, it's because I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I think about this a lot. Like, the fear of tomorrow is scarier to me than the fear of not waking up at all. You know, the fear of going to bed, and then going into work or going into the world, or, you know, just going about my day, and then something really messed up happening to me that's out of my control. That's scary to me way more than me possibly leaving this earth. And I really wonder if that's a sane thought, right? If that's a sane thought to have. But at the same time, to me, it's very logical in and of itself, because you know, and I don't really like to think pessimistically whatsoever. And then I actually don't even think it's a pessimistic thought. But when you die, right, let's just say you don't believe in anything, right? You don't believe in God. You don't believe in heaven or hell. When you die, everything's got, like, all like, you're just done. You're clocked out, right? All, you know, granted, if you have a good life, it would consider it suck, right? But let's say you don't have the best life, you don't have the, you know, much going on, you know, especially if you're somebody that struggles through constant physical pain, mental illness, or something like that. The pain's gone. And I don't want to make this be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy, but, you know, it's the truth. If you view death as being the final thing and there's nothing after that, then wallahi, man, like, when you die, dude, all your suffering is gone. You have nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about bills, taxes, going to the job you hate. You know, all that stuff is just it's completely gone. It's void. You know, and I really wonder if people ask themselves this question. You know, there's that song by Raekwon, right? It's and also features Ghostface Killah. It's, what do you believe in, heaven or hell? You can't believe in heaven because you're living in hell. So what's your life? I always think about that line sometimes, man. That's one of the best lines in hip hop. What do you believe in, heaven or hell? You can't believe in heaven because you're living in hell. So what's your life? And nobody, bro, I see how many hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours that people spend talking about celebrities, gossip, sex, just trash, right? Just gossip, all kinds of stuff, just trash, right? And nobody really asks themselves, well, I think this is one of the most important questions you can ever ask. What's your life? Do you have a job just to make to make money so you can acquire new things and all that kind of stuff, or do you have a job because you feel like it's a purpose? It's like you have a purpose. You have something that not only benefits you but the world around you, the people around you, right? That's why I really look up to people involved in, let's say, like lawyers. If you truly believe about justice, you're a lawyer or you're a detective, right? You want to bring more justice into the world. Let's say you're in a medical field, physicians. I mean, you're a nurse, doctor, whatever like that, surgeon. You're doing great things. You're a teacher, educator. You're educating, people. I mean, those are all things that I think society has gradually just devalued compared to being a quote entrepreneur, and things like that. Granted, entrepreneurs are important, but we put them on a higher pedestal. The Jeff Bezos, the Bill Gates and stuff like that, the entrepreneurs, the tech gurus and stuff like that, more than people that actually, in my opinion, keep society actually running and keep humanity actually running, right? Look at our heroes. Our heroes are musicians and celebrities. They're not, the person that builds the roads that you ride on every day. They're not the person that when you don't know how to fix your car, the mechanic that fixes your car for you because you have no idea how to do that, right? The person that, the veterinarian that takes care of your pets, the people that keep things running, the pilot that, flies you to one place to another when you go on vacation. There's everyday heroes because that they keep society running and they're never recognized because society doesn't consider that sexy or important compared to other people. And I really wonder why and question that why. Like, are these people suckers because they do something that is considered menial, but this menial things are something that you can't do? I think about it all the time, like, oh, you look down upon the sewage guy and all that stuff, or the trash man, but you don't have to have it in you to do that kind of labor. The person that works in the factory that creates a lot of things that you have, you don't have it in yourself to do that. Why you look down upon that person? Because they provide essentially essential service that keeps the world running. The farmer, right? Farmers are amazing. Farmers put the food that create the food that you put on your table. The truck drivers, what I'm saying, that distribute the stuff all across the country, they help bring that food. Why do those people look down and frowned upon as not being as important in this society? Because some guy that comes out with some new app that has that's fun, like some social media app, they're a revolutionary and they're put up as being like the pinnacle of human achievement. But all they do is just create another freaking distraction that people use to freaking perpetuate some of the same problematic things that we see in society every single day. So that's all I pretty much have. I'm gonna call this one short and sweet, but what does your life mean to you? At the end of the day, I'm really stressed out. Sometimes I get anxious, but wallahi, inshallah, what I'm saying? Like tomorrow, I'll make the best out of it. Because there's a lot of people worse off for me. My heart goes out to every single person that's out on the street. My heart goes out to everybody that's suffering through poverty. My heart goes out to people that suffer from disabilities. My heart goes out to people that suffer from true oppression, like, in extreme forms. My heart goes out to people that are victims of violence. My heart goes out to people that are in situations that I could not imagine ever being in, wallahi. And anybody that ever watches this that's in one of those situations, my heart goes out to you. I hope that we can make it through this experience of life, regardless of what creed, color, religion that we're in. I hope that we can make it out together and that we can thrive and find some meaning in this organized chaos that we call society, right? And I wish you the very best, even people that hate me, people that don't like me. I would never wish, the worst what I wouldn't want on to happen to me on my worst enemy. Now there's degrees. There's actually absolute terrible people that should, that I want all the smoke for them. But a lot of the reasons that people don't like each other are so petty. They're so pathetic, and hopefully one day, inshallah, we reach a point in our lives where we can make amends to people that we disagree with, that we have disputes with. But that's pretty much all I have for today. If you see this, you are beautiful. You are loved. You may be even loved by somebody, recognized by somebody that you may not even know. You're important. If you ever feel some kind of way, go in the comment section of my channel and just say, hey, I need somebody to talk to. Hey, I need, I'll invite you on the show. You don't have to dox yourself. You don't have to cam up. We can just talk about your issues. And we can just kind of learn from each other. And that's what I kind of wanted to do with this space. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sexuality you are. We can find ways to express ourselves and understand each other and respect each other. So that's all I have right now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You guys have a wonderful day. Hope your day off, MLK Day, if you had it off, was meaningful in some kind of way. And I wish you guys the very best. Take care. Inshallah.